All right, so I want to welcome everybody on board. Today is Friday, the 4th of April, 2025, and we're having our morning analysis. Good morning, Madam Onaji, Daniels FX. Now, today is the first Friday in the month of April, and as usual, we're going to be having our NFP today. NFP is non-farm payroll. It's the news that measures the employment change and unemployment rate in the United States. It's the biggest event in the forex market. We're going to go live by 1:15 p.m. So the link will be dropped in your group, whichever group you belong to. That's the group where you got the link to this analysis session. Just watch out in the course of the day, maybe around 11, 12. The link for the NFP trading will be dropped in the group. It's going to be a Zoom link. So you have to click on that link and be a part of that class by 1:15 p.m. Now, punctuality is very important. You need to keep the time. If you come in late, you may get the signal late. So I would advise you come in on time. Be a part of the analysis. Don't just come for the signal alone. Be a part of the analysis. Know the reason why we believe the market will go in a certain direction. Then the signal will be dropped around maybe 1:20, 1:25 p.m. The signal will be dropped and the news data will be released from the United States at exactly 1:30 p.m. If you come in late, you may not, you may miss out, of part of what we'll be doing by the afternoon. So I encourage us to come in early. All right, so let's go into what we have for this morning. This morning, we only have one fundamental event, and that's construction PMI from the United Kingdom, and it's a medium impact event. Now, with the level of volatility that has been in the market, I don't know if you saw what happened overnight. The market just, went really, really volatile. So there's a lot of volatility across board in the course of the night, and it's still a fallout of the Trump, speech which took place about a couple of days back. It's still ravaging the market massively. So even though the construction PMI from the United Kingdom is a medium impact event, because the market is already on edge, there will still be some volatility from that event. So it's an event we're going to watch out for, and I'll show you the specific currency pairs you can trade, for that event. So construction PMI measures the level of a division index based on surveyed purchasing managers in the construction industry. An actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. So by 9:30 a.m. today, if the data released from the UK, now the forecast is 4.3. If the actual is greater, that is from 4.7 and above, they'll be looking at buying the British pound. And if the actual is less than the forecast, that is from 4.5 and below, they'll be looking at selling the British pound. That's all I can show us here until we get to the chart where I can now show you the specific currency pairs you can either buy or sell ahead of this news. Now, the other news event is going to come up by 1:30 p.m. and that's from Canada. From Canada, we're going to be having the unemployment rate and employment change. Employment change, unemployment rate by 1:30 p.m. and simultaneously to run with average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate from the United States. Now, I'm not going to talk much about this. It's an afternoon event, and since we have an entire session, to talk about it during the news, so let's just leave that for the afternoon session. So I'm going to flip over now to my charts, and we'll look at what to expect, especially for the news we're anticipating by 9:30 a.m. That's the construction PMI from the United Kingdom. Now, for the construction PMI, I'll be looking at the GBP, the Euro GBP, and the GBP JPY, because I can see very, very nice technical setup on these two instruments that could point us in the direction the news is expected to go. Now, if you look at Euro GBP on the weekly time frame, you can see that price has been trending downwards. In fact, we actually have a falling wedge pattern, on this instrument, and price has been trending downwards. We have a very good looking downtrend there on the weekly time frame. And if we flip to the daily, we'll discover that around that downtrend line we have also a resistance, and as such this point here happens to be a place where the trend line and the resistance actually met. So we say there's a confluence around that region. So we can take it down to a lower time frame, like 4 hours, to still see if there's further information. We don't really have much information on 4 hour. Then I'll finally flip down to 1 hour time frame. And we can see that there's a small rejection candle in the last 1 hour. So we're looking for the possibility of a reversal on this instrument. Now, this is my outlook. If the news from the United Kingdom, that's the construction PMI, if the data comes out good for the British pound, if it comes out good for the British pound, I'll be expecting a sell on the Euro GBP. So by 9:30 a.m. this morning, you go on the chart. You go on forexfactory.com. Let me flip there for the benefit of those who are new, because we have quite some new people on board. I'll flip over now to Forex Factory again. Now, this is what happens by 9:30. By 9:25, you will see a countdown timer right there. You will see the time counting down from 5 minutes to 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and 00. The data will be released exactly 9:30. If the data here comes out good for the British pound, when it's good for the British pound, it means it is greater than 46.3. That's from 47.3 and above. Then that means the British pound is expected to buy. That will mean by actual greater than forecast. If on the other hand, the data release, now, sorry, let me just make it more clear again. Aside that the data will be actual greater than forecast is by the color of that data. If it's actual greater than forecast, it's going to be color green. So watch out for the color also. It's very important. So if it's a color green, it means the British pound is expected to buy. And if on the other hand, it is color red, it means the British pound is expected to sell. So if it is a color green, now take note of this twist. If it is a color green, it means we're going to be selling Euro GBP. Take note of that, please. If it is a color green, which is a buy for the British pound, it means we'll be selling the Euro GBP. Why will we be selling the Euro GBP? Because for the Euro GBP currency pair, the pound is the quote currency. It's not the base currency. So if the data comes out good for the pound, we'll be selling the Euro GBP. And that's what we're looking out for this news, for the data to be good for the British pound. Now, I'm trying to streamline it to what you are going to trade. I'm looking at selling the Euro GBP, but that's on the condition that the data comes out really good for the British pound. Another instrument you might trade for this news is the GBP JPY. So for the GBP JPY, if the data comes out good, you can actually buy the GBP JPY. So you don't need to, do the twist you are doing with the Euro GBP. Just place it back. So the data comes out good for the British pound. We will be looking at either buying the GBP JPY or selling the Euro GBP. Now, this is my outlook on the GBP JPY. If we go to the weekly time frame, okay, let's go to the daily. If it's clear on the daily. On the daily time frame for GBP JPY, you can clearly see that we have an uptrend right here. And if we zoom down to the 4 hour, if we zoom down to the 4 hour time frame, there is a support, a minor support right there. And we take it down to 1 hour, we can see that price, has also formed a falling wedge pattern, preparing to a bullish breakout. Now we have an uptrend. What we're doing is that we're looking for a bullish continuation. That's because that's the trend. You trade in the direction of the trend. The trend is your friend. And we also have a support here. That also tells us we should be looking for an opportunity to buy. So at the 1 hour, we have a falling wedge pattern. So if the data comes out good for the pound, then as in actual greater than forecast color green, then we're expecting a spike on the GBP JPY. So if the data comes out good for the pound, we can either buy GBP JPY or we sell the Euro GBP. Now, if the Euro GBP is a bit confusing, no problem. Just stick with the GBP JPY. If the news comes out good, actual greater than forecast for the pound, safely buy the GBP JPY. All right, so let's take note of that. Now, the other instrument I'm looking at, though this is ahead of the news, NFP, but that's I'm going to show you what I'm seeing on the dollar. We'll still have more extensive analysis later in the afternoon, but I'll give this paraventure there is some kind of movement, before the NFP comes up. Now, this is the dollar index. If you follow my analysis for the week, I have a symmetrical triangle forming up in this instrument, and price has been bouncing within the pattern. This is higher high, and this is a third higher high from where we expect the possibility of a bullish continuation. We come down to the daily, it's quite close, and price is touching the trend line on the daily. And finally, let's go down to 1 hour time frame. This one going. Price is actually forming an inverse head and shoulder. Sorry, a double bottom pattern. Pardon me, a double bottom pattern. So we might be anticipating a bullish breakout in price, later today. So probably before the NFP, if price is able to break above this neckline region, we should be looking at taking a buy at the USD JPY. So I hold a bullish outlook on the USD JPY, pending any other change in the market. I'm bullish on the USD JPY. And finally, I'll look at CAD CHF. Now, this CAD CHF might be influenced by the employment change and unemployment rate in Canada later in the afternoon. But I'll show you what I'm seeing on it. And it's equally an instrument of great interest to me this morning. Okay, I'm not familiar with picking the fresh one. All right, so this is CAT CHF on the daily time frame. We can see that price, is trading. Price is just around this support level on the daily time frame. All of them are on the same zone. All right, so you can see clearly that price just hit a support zone on the daily time frame. It's still reflected on the weekly also, very much on the weekly. So I'll flip down to 1 hour time frame. I'll be anticipating a reversal on this instrument in the course of today. Like I said, this setup will be influenced more later in the afternoon when the data from Canada is released. But before then, it's possible we might see some movement on it. We'll be anticipating a breakout into the bullish direction, and your confirmation at the breakout will be that your RSI is clearly above 50. So if a new candle breaks out of this pattern with RSI above 50, you can look to take a buy on the CAD CHF. All right, so I've analyzed about 3 to 4 instruments this morning. For the GBP news in the morning, I said I'm bullish on the GBP JPY. And if you want to take a sell trade, you can take a sell trade on the Euro GBP, provided the data comes out as actual greater than forecast for the British pound. And I've said I'm bullish on the USD JPY, and it will trigger before the NFP. If it does, you're free to take a buy at the USD pair, provided price breaks the neckline of the double bottom pattern that we're seeing on the 1 hour time frame. And I'm also bullish on the CAD CHF. Price breaks out above the upper trend line with the RSI clearly above 50. You're free to take a buy on the CAD CHF. All right, so that'll be all from my end. I'll take some of the questions we're seeing on the screen as we try to round up. All right, Babatunde Lawal is asking me to check GBP AUD. GBP AUD is one of the instruments that were really affected by the spike that took place overnight. Price broke out, real high up there. You can see it on the screen. Currently, there is no reversal in view for this instrument because price has broken above the recent high, which is this region here, except we see a retracement and a further continuation. So there's no reversal in view for this instrument yet. You know what I'm saying? Even on the daily, it needs to retest and continue. That's what can happen. So I will advise to steer clear of this instrument for now, except you're on a trade on it and you're on a trade. It better be that you're in a buy because that breakout is a massive one. It has gone. Oh, this is a weekly time frame. You can see it really broke out overnight. The course of the night till this morning, it has done over 300 pips, and it may just take some retracement and possibly continue. So I don't know what direction you are on. That's Babatunde Lawal. But in my view, if you have not taken the trade, just stay out of this instrument for now. Let's know the next thing that will happen to it. Augustine is asking me to check BTC, Joshua Puri Gold, Madam Monachi BTC. All right, so let's check BTC. Okay, so this is BTC. This is the daily time frame. And the price reacted to the downward trend with a resistance, a minor resistance here. That's what led to the sell yesterday. But currently, price is equally trading around a support zone on the daily time frame. So technically, we'll be looking at a bounce in the bullish direction for BTC USD. This is a support zone using those shadows. And they're important because this is the daily time frame. This is the 4 hour, this is the 1 hour. All right, so this is my view on BTC. This is an inverse head and shoulder forming on this instrument. We anticipate a bullish breakout. However, you need to wait for price to break the neckline. You need a clear break above the neckline with your RSI clearly above 50. RSI is actually at 53. This is what I will advise. Wait for one more candle to clearly come up above this my neckline. That's the trend line I just drew now. Wait for one more new candle to break, to close above it. Wait for a new candle to close above this, then you see that price will go higher. So I'm bullish on the BTC USD. And Joshua Corey Gold. Now I remember telling that's for those who attended the afternoon analysis yesterday. I told you my outlook on gold that I believe gold was going to do a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder before to break out, and that's what is happening. It has done just what I anticipated to do. The next thing we're expecting is a drop. But I will advise to trade gold with a lot of caution because of all the instability going on globally at the moment. You know, globally, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of threats here and there. US is threatening Iran, Russia, and but China is threatening Taiwan. You know, Chinese, I think Minister for Defense was saying in Russia that talks about some partnership, trying to partner with Russia against United States. All this geopolitical tension, could really affect the movement of gold. Yeah, even though we are slightly bullish on the dollar at the moment, that technically should see gold drop. However, I will advise to still trade gold with a lot of caution at this point. For those who might want to trade gold, this is what I would suggest. If price breaks out below this recent low, it's not the exact recent low, anyway, let me just say below, breaks out below this region that I've drawn. Well, you may look at taking a sell on gold. But gold will react more during NFP in the afternoon. That's one reason why you should trade with caution. But if you feel it, you want to trade it, let it break below this support level. Yeah. At that point, you have enough clarity to take a sell. So how the bearish outlook. USDC, THF, Solomon, let's see each other. Which pound, oh, sorry, which pair should we sell if the news is bad for the pound? If the news is bad for the pounds, I will advise you stay out because technically what I'm saying is, see, when it comes to news trading, you go with the buyers you are seeing. You understand? And if it comes out negative, the best you can do is just stay out. Because one, this news that we're anticipating is even a medium impact event. We're only looking at the fact that possibility of the fact that there's a general volatility in the market to push it. On a normal day, it's a medium impact event, which may not move the market that much. So, but in the event of current volatility, that may add some spice to it. Let me use that word. So if the news comes out as actually the forecast, the best I would advise is you only trade in a line of your analysis. It goes against your analysis, just stay out. There will be another trade another day. So what matters most is the level of your accuracy with your analysis. That's what is important. So if it goes against your analysis, personally, I will just stay out of it. But if it comes out actually with a forecast, yes, and buy GPGPY or sell you. So that's in response to Joshua Okori. And uh, Ijoma is asking, is it better to hold on for now for GBJPY because there is a bullish reversal? It's not yet time to take a trade on GBJPY. Wait for the news. The news is yet to be released. If you just go and enter a buy now, just like the other person is saying, what if the news comes out against that setup? Then you have a losing trade. So when there's a news ahead, it's always better to wait for that news to be released before you take a trade, especially if the currency pair you want to trade is the same as the one that we are expecting in news from. Even though you are seeing anything on GBJPY now, it's still better to hold on and wait for the data to be released. That's a response to each job. You're welcome, Bishop. You're welcome, Madam. All right, I'll pick USDCHF and USD US30. I think we'll wrap up. You're welcome, Ijoma. Okay, somebody asked about GBP USD, so let me give a response to that also. For GBP USD, This is the weekly. Starting from the monthly time frame, you can see that we have a very sharp descending trend line there. This is the weekly. Price is still, I think I'm a bit fast. This is what I'm saying. We have the trend line. We have higher lows, and we are in a downtrend. So going to the weekly, you can see price is still touching that trend line. Daily, it's still touching it. 4 hour, it's already in a downtrend. 1 hour. Now we expect, and this also goes along with the show that what I said about USDPY, is valid, because if you are bullish on the USDPY, then you should be bearish on an instrument like the GBP USD, because here the dollar is a quote currency, not the base. So for the person asking about GBP USD, GBP USD is in a downtrend, but then the major movement will happen more when NFP is released. This is a 1 hour. If you feel you want, okay, pardon me. The news, we are still bullish on the news from, what's it called now? Sorry, let me check the news again. The one we're expecting by 9:30, and that's the construction PMI. All right. So I think for the person asking if the news comes out bad against, the pound for the construction PMI, if the data comes out bad against the pound, you can sell GBP West. Yes, because this is a downtrend. GBP is in an uptrend, even in a downtrend. So, it's good to trade the one that is applicable. So if it comes out bad, yeah, sell the JPUSD. If it comes out good, buy the GBP, JPY. So I think that clarifies the news, the construction payment we're expecting from the United Kingdom. And Euro USD too should be in a downtrend since GBP USD. That's for the person asking about Euro USD equally going to be in a downtrend. But let's confirm. This is Euro USD. On the monthly time frame, price hit a resistance. To go down to 1 hour, is still trading around that resistance and trying to form a double top. Not a perfect double top though, but that's the closest I can see here. And if price breaks the neckline, we expect a further decline on the Euro USD. So we are bearish on the Euro USD. And finally, the US 30. US 30 is labeled as DG30 on our platform. Now, I held a bearish outlook on this instrument for some time, largely because I saw price, a rising wedge at a double top pattern, which has seen some drop on the US 30. However, price is trading currently at a Fibonacci level 38.2, which may act as a support. There's actually a corresponding support here. So it's a confluence between Fibonacci and the support level. So there might be some retracement. There might be some retracement on. Oh, okay, that's even the weekly time frame. All right, that's the weekly time frame. So let's go down to the daily. It's still the same. You can see price is reacting to that. Price is reacting to that support from the Fibonacci level. The daily time frame is even looking like trying to form a rejection candle. Let's go down to the daily. I mean, 4 hour rather. The last 4 hour candle was a rejection candle. And 1 hour, Let's go down to 30 minutes. 30 minutes here. Let's go down to 15 minutes. Trying to form an inverse head and shoulder. So I'll be looking for an opportunity to buy the US 30 or the DK 30, provided price breaks above this neckline region around. Yeah, it's doing like if it's selling, but don't be deceived by that. It's going to reverse into some bullish. Okay. Now, it's a very volatile instrument, so this is what I would advise. If it reverses into a buy, look at setting your take profits around this region. So just trade it from the reversal point when a new candle breaks out above this resistance and target the next support on resistance at your profit taking level. So that's for the person asking about the DJ30 or the US30. And that's a Prince Davidson. All right. So I think that's all I've attended to everyone. So that's going to be all for analysis this morning. Don't forget again, we have NFP live trading session by 1:15 p.m. today, this afternoon. The link will be dropped in your group. And please don't forget this is a funded event. So to make money with us, you need to have funds in your account. You can go ahead now, reach out to your account manager, you need to fund. And if you don't know your account manager, you can reach out to me through the WhatsApp number with which I send the link to you. I'll guide you through the funding process. Make sure you fund and make money. We're making money today. It's not audio. Those who have been joining us a month ago, we trade live and promote on this live trading session. All right, so we'll see you again later in the course. Take care.